So it has been raining off and on for over a week. More on the past 4 days than off, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. We need these latter rains before winter sets in, for our gardens and our trees and everything. And we need them just as much as we need the early rains in spring. So um, I'm out early, letting my chickens out, letting them go through my garden to get bugs. I talk about how important it is to get out in your gardens to check things out. Don't let a day go by that you're not out there, and also at night, morning, noon, and night. So I went out at night the other day. It was the night before last, and I went out with my black light flashlight. And I was thinking, we've been having trouble with these cabbage hornworms, and I wanted to go out and look because they're the same coloring as the tomato hornworms. So I'm thinking I should be able to see them too if they're out there, and I wanted to make sure that we had eradicated them and found other bugs out there. So all these lights we're seeing is my garden at night. And the reason I'm coming out at night is because I want to see if we've gotten rid of all these little worms. I've got my black light flashlight and I'm looking in, and I'm thinking that these worms are basically the same color, that lime green as the tomato hornworms. So don't see nothing there. So I'm looking to see if I can see anything. Nope, but there's a bug. It's a flying bug. I know he's thinking, what are you doing, crazy lady? There's quite a few of these flying bugs out here. Wonder what that is. I'm gonna have to. So I'm letting my girls out so they can figure out what these are. They'll know whether to eat them or not, and take care of the bugs, because I've also had a problem with grasshoppers, and they keep those under control for me. So I want to have them out and working in the garden. I do keep an eye on them because letting 6 out at a time, because they do scratch up, and I have to keep an eye on them to make sure they're not scratching up something that I don't want them to scratch up and destroying some plant, because that they will do. And then after they've been out for a few hours, I can put them up and I can let the guineas out, because we've been letting the guineas out. So today I'm going to let the little guineas out for the first time. I'm not sure how they're going to take it or how long it'll take them to go out. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch and see. but they're not big enough to go after anything yet, and they don't go too far away from their little home yet, because they are still just little chicks, and they are still just little keets. And so they when they were out the other day, a grasshopper jumped up in front of them, and it was a pretty big one, and they just kind of looked at it like, what kind of a monster are you? So they've got a little growing to do yet. Well, I've got to get out into the garden. I got my hat on so I won't get wet, although it looks like the sun's going to come out for a little while, so that's good. I can get out into the garden, I can do some harvesting, and get things taken care of. Hey girls, y'all ready to go out? Huh? Y'all ready? You are ready. Go find them bugs. Go find breakfast. I'll check y'all's water. I think I'm going to go ahead and get them fresh water. Yeah, because of all the rain, I'm getting a lot of grass growing up into the garden area. But that's okay, because when you have it so heavily mulched and your garden's not real compacted because of the way you garden, getting grass out is an easy fix. Fresh water and food. You know, the rain, everything's looking really, really good. Just can't get out and do a whole lot. Tomorrow, rain or shine, got a lot of work that's going to be done. I've got some squash here. Let's see, look. Lettuces are starting to come back out. That's cool because I did not plant those, or should I say I didn't replant those. Let the seeds drop and they're coming back up on their own. So I had a cutting in spring and now I'm getting some for fall. And I've got some squash I need to pick. I know that I've got some, yep, I got some scallop squashes I need to pick. And okra. Okra's been going crazy too. And you know, since I did my okra video, I've had several people call me to give me their favorite okra recipe, and that was really, really interesting. I think it's cool when we can share ideas like that and learn things that we didn't know before. Chickens are going to town. You know, I've also had somebody else contact me and ask what gardening style I am. Because they see a little bit of everything here. And so I would say that's true. We've definitely gone to what they are calling food forest, which is actually polyculture. That is what I'm interested in, is polyculture, permaculture. I want to put things in that are permanent and come back year after year on their own so that I can do as little work as possible. That is my desire. Even though I love getting out and working in my garden, and I'm kind of jonesing because I'm not able to get out into it. But we have raised beds and we use them for certain things. And then we have this, which is heavily mulched. I think they're calling it the Back to Eden garden, where you've got the heavy mulch. And then over here, we're going to be doing this one a little different. We're going to be putting thick compost, which we always do. But we're going to be putting thick compost, and then our mulch is going to be straw. And why are we doing that? Because I was told that it will degrade, it will compost into place much quicker than anything else. Not hay. Let me take that back. Straw. You don't want hay. Hay has seeds. Straw. It'll compost in place faster than anything else. Straw is relatively cheap, and I don't have to have truckloads of those delivered. I can actually just go pick that up in my vehicle. So that's what we're going to do here, and we'll see what the difference is. I talked about how I like to experiment in my garden, and I do. So I've got my raised bed area, which, as I've said, I don't plan on doing anything with. I'm going to leave it there. And then we have done the food forest that we're working on that was heavily mulched. And then we're going to do this large area back here with the compost, and the mulch we'll be using will be the straw. So see what the difference in wood chip mulch and straw. But it's very interesting, the different ways you can do everything. The one thing I will say is that regardless of which type of gardening you choose to go with, always use some type of mulch on top of your ground. You want it on there to protect your plants from the heat. You want it on there to protect your plants from the cold. You want it on there to help and retain moisture. So you always need mulch. You don't ever want to have bare ground. The only time I have bare ground is when I have just planted something. And what I'm learning in the permaculture class that I'm taking, though, is that I could put a light spreading of the straw after I plant. You don't put it on thick, just a light spreading. That way your soil still has some protection, but it's not that heavy wood chip mulch. We shall see. Everything's different. Every area will be different, and that's good. I like that. The cosmos, I like my pineapple sage right now, the colors. I always like the pineapple sage, but I really like the color that it's putting out. More importantly, the bees do. And the cosmos is putting out a whole new layer of flowers on it, and I like that. The eggplants are growing. I've got them all over. So that's that type of eggplant. The bells are putting out all over. I've got quite a few different bell plants. And of course, the long beans are still going, and I like that. But these little eggplants, so these don't get much bigger than this. They'll get a little bit bigger than that, and that's it. And I think that they're the Turkish eggplants. Oh, snail. Snails for my chickens. Let me find one of those girls. Chicka. There you are. There you are. Well, I need to go clean out the chicken coop and walk around and pick some stuff out of the garden. And I know you don't want to go in the coop with me. So I am going to say goodbye for the morning. I hope you're enjoying your day. I'm really enjoying this rain. We have needed it, and so the late rains of the year before winter sets in. It's good for your garden. It's good for your soul. So have a great day. I will see you later. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Bye-bye.